Seeing as though Mario Kart World is the only Switch 2 exclusive, I guess we better talk about it, eh? Okay, so I've been playing a buttload of Mario Kart since the Switch 2's launch, and here are my first impressions on it. Yeah, I haven't done everything there is to do in the game, so this is not a comprehensive review. This isn't a tech deep dive, how well does it run? What I want to know as a consumer is it fun? And how does it compare to past Mario Karts? So, let's go. I am not going to start things off with free roam because I don't have that many nice things to say about it. So we're going to start on a positive note and talk about the tracks. I mean, the tracks are a Mario Kart, if you ask me. Put as many karts, as many characters in there as you want, but if your level design sucks, I'm not going to want to play it. Thankfully though, the level design in this actually rocks. There are a few tracks I'm not a huge fan of, likely just personal preference, but for the most part, actually for all part, even the ones I don't like, are really unique with some really interesting level design going on there. Most of the tracks these days are not actual circuits, which is good or bad depending on how you look at it. A lot of them are linear, straight through tracks where you don't repeat the same corners again. Or maybe you repeat the same corner this way only to go that way instead, which I think is really cool and again is really nice level design. It does mean they're a bit harder to get used to because you've got to drive the whole track again if you want to repeat anything. But I mean, from a casual point of view, who cares? It does make them more interesting in a single run. There are levels like the old baby circuit where you have to go around 7 times. There is still one of those. You got to go around 5 times, and it's one of my favorites just because it's utter chaos with so many bananas and shells all over the track at one time. But again, the vast majority are just single straight through tracks, linear ones if you will. The linear tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were some of my favorite because they were unique. Oh, we don't repeat any corners here? Wow, that's so different. Now they're not so different, which does take away from them a little bit, but I guess everybody loved them so much in 8, why not just go down that path exclusively? The tracks also feel a lot more open. Like the tracks themselves are wider, so there's a lot more open space where you might just be like holding A, like chugging along, like, come on, let's go. So I would recommend prioritizing your speed stat a little more in this game. I was always an acceleration guy. I think that's just what Toad was better at. It was my character of choice. But in this, I really want to prioritize speed a little more because there are just like so many long sections that you're just driving along and there's not a whole load of twists and turns, or if they are, the track's so wide it doesn't matter anyway, you can just drive straight on through that. I am loving all the new items I come across. I don't like the feather, I hate jumping, it always throws me off course. But apart from that, a bunch of them are really cool. The golden shell is awesome. The coin block is a nice addition as well. And there's like a weird magic thing, which I still don't know what it does, but I refuse to check because I want to figure it out for myself. So new items, returning items. We have the giant mushroom back again. The thing that makes you giant, you can just run over people. That item is sick and I am so glad to see its return. Knockout tours. Oh, so I jumped straight into Grand Prix for the start because that's what a Mario Kart is all about. And I got gold in my first 2 Grand Prix on 150cc. Okay, that's fine. Looking for a little bit more of a challenge as like a single player offline kind of experience. Knockout Tour is where that's at because your characters that are really good, or your PC characters that are really good, they don't have to reset and start from the start every time. They are just really good the whole way through. So if you're not familiar with Knockout Tour, It's essentially just one straight shot to the finish line. There are no laps, which again sounds like most of the courses. However, you have to be top 20 at your first checkpoint. You have to be top 16 at your next checkpoint, so on and so forth. Otherwise, you're just kicked out of the race. Now, I've never managed to not be top 4 by the end, so I assume it just quits on you and you have to start again. Or if you're playing with friends co-op, I assume it just, you have to wait for everyone to lose. But this is a really fun game mode, and I actually haven't managed to come first in one of those yet. So there is a little bit more of a challenge in your single player offline modes, which I really appreciate. Also, let's go back to the level design, because yeah, they're all straight shots, which sound like most of the tracks, but they're straight shots through the whole Mario Kart World map. They're not a straight shot through a single track. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but basically it takes all these tracks, puts them together like Meccano, boop, 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 and then you drive along instead of just doing one. Yeah, I don't know if I explained that very well, but the game mode is super fun, really unique, and something different from Mario Kart, which I have been craving for a while now, because let's be honest, Grand Prix are good. Time trials and battles, they needed something different, something fresh, and this is where it's at. Online mode, nothing really to report here. It's Mario Kart Online. What else do you want? It runs smoothly. There's been no kickouts or dropouts. Frame rates all good. I see no issue with the online infrastructure here. Now is a really good time to get into the online, because it's when everyone's playing. A few months ago, the Mario Kart 8 online was mainly just freaks who are still playing at level like 1 billion, and you didn't have a hope in hell of winning anything. I actually managed to win an online race. I've also managed to come like second last in them. So it is a really nice time to get into it if you so desire. Although driving to the next track, I swear to God, in a Mario Kart World like trailer, they were like, drive to your next race, drive to the starting point. Nah, you don't do that. That's not a thing. It resets, you load in, you go. Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about. Unless I'm stupid and there's some setting I'm missing, or there's some game mode I don't know about, you do not do that. It is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like any old Mario Kart. Now, when I first loaded up Mario Kart World, I was like, where is the free roam option? It is hidden away down in the right-hand corner. And I missed that at the start, so I went to Grand Prix, as I said. I think they might have done this on purpose, though, because it's not very good. Now, this might just be me. In fact, this is just my opinion. It is not an objective opinion. But objectively, the world's empty. You might have a whole lot of fun just driving around aimlessly, doing whatever you want, maybe practicing on some of the tracks you want to get better at. But for me, I need points. I need a destination, you know? I need something to look forward to be doing. There are these P blocks scattered throughout the world, which do give you fun little challenges, but between those, there is literally nothing to do. You're just driving around aimlessly, essentially searching for P blocks or maybe a new skin. It is nothing special and nothing to write home about. There's plenty of stuff going on in this world, like plenty of people driving around or dinosaurs roaming around or what have you, but it just lacks that want to explore feeling. You know how when you load up a game like Xenoblade or the new modern Zeldas and you step into those worlds and you're like, wow, I just want to see what's over that cliff, or wow, that patch of trees looks really beautiful. I wonder if there's a horse down there. That exploration, that feeling of wanting to explore the world doesn't really exist in Mario Kart World, and that's kind of a shame. But I mean, hey, as I said in the beginning, it's all about that level design and that track design, and they have absolutely nailed that. This game is 1000% getting DLC because my boy Link is nowhere to be seen in the character roster, and I can't find his silhouette in the unlockable characters, which are mainly just skins for other characters, by the way. Yeah, it is what it is. So definitely getting some DLC here. I will also say that coming from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, especially with that DLC, this game feels like it's lacking a bit of content. It's not, because when 8 was released, it had, I think, the same amount of tracks as this does. But just coming from, you know, we've been spoiled with 8 Deluxe. So coming from that, this does feel like it's lacking a few things. I'm almost certain there's going to be a whole nother world map that they're going to add in a later DLC, along with some extra characters, kind of like the Smash Battle Passes, you know? So I am very much looking forward to that, actually. Can you imagine driving around as Bayonetta or Sonic or something? That would be very cool. Okie dokie, so they are my first impressions of Mario Kart World. I am having so much fun with the game. It has been a single player experience for me so far, so I cannot wait for my weekend where I'm going to invite some of my mates over, just going to have a few beers and play Mario Kart World. It is what it's made for after all. It is the ultimate couch co-op game, and let's be honest, no Nintendo console is really complete without a copy of Mario Kart. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you on the next one. Peace.